Hello, everybody. Welcome to Is This a Ghost? I'm Clayton Smith, and every week I tell a real ghost story from real history to my real friend who has real cats. His name is Patrick Dean. He hasn't taken any of this real seriously, but his cats are getting real big.
Mm-hmm. Two real, two cats.
Yeah, it's a working title.
Mm-hmm. Too fast, too curious.
Okay, that one. Okay, now we're getting better. Now it's much warmer. Much warmer. Hey, I like your shirt today.
Thank you.
Do they make that in two?
They don't, because that's not as much of an accomplishment.
It feels like it. It feels like it's an accomplishment. It feels like it is.
All
right.
We had an exciting weekend. Did you see on the Facebooks? I'm sure everyone posted everything.
I probably did.
June, she busted. You son of a bitch. June busted her face real good. Just split right through here.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she got stitches.
Really?
Yep. Split the whole eyebrow and into the eyelid.
Oh God, poor Dimebag.
Yeah.
What happened?
She was on a slide, and she was getting a little cavalier, and her head ping-ponged back and forth down the slide.
And that just popped her open like a cantaloupe.
Pretty much. I guess if you take your forehead and you bash it against the slide hard enough, eventually just splits right open.
Kid heads are tough. They're so big and they weigh so much. They just you start down that path and the head takes over, and it's
almost unfair. You would think from an evolutionary standpoint you would make the feet big first,
yes.
But like making the head big first is just fucking mean. We
should be like horses. Good legs from the get-go, and then head gets bigger later.
Good legs, but afraid of lightning until they're about 20.
I'm still afraid of lightning.
Well,
your cats are huge.
Where are they?
There was one on the couch, but now there's
they're gonna be everywhere.
There was one on the couch, and then there was one on the floor. They're massive.
Yeah, they're 6-7 pounds now.
Oh, hey, bud. Which one's the? Oh, there you go.
So the white one is Lewis.
The
black one is Vince.
Okay.
I didn't get to choose either of these names.
Named for Vaughn and Farrakhan, I assume. Two most important influences on your career.
Yeah. So my vote for the cats' names were Taylor Sniffed and Dimebag Darrell, and I got neither of those.
I think actually that's a good call. I didn't like Lewis and Vince until this moment, and now I think maybe those are pretty strong names. Actually,
that's fair.
Something about Taylor Sniffed makes me feel very uncomfortable.
When we were voting, like the next day, Stella was like, "Why didn't we call one Taylor Sniffed?" I'm like, "We had votes. You voted against Taylor Sniffed only because I said it."
Oh, that's classic. That's why is Trump president now? I don't know. I voted for him as a goof. Well, thanks a lot. These cats are very distracting. They're very cute.
Yeah, no, they're not. So I have all the chords, and they're, as you know, in podcasting, primarily chords.
Mostly chords. Mostly chords in here. Yes, yeah.
All the chords are picked up and they're on the desk, and both the cats are sitting right next to me, like look up at me, like, "Are you gonna? Can we share the chords? Just, like you get one, I get one." You're not
going to chew on all of these yourself, right?
I see you're drinking, and chewing on cords, but you can't. That's way too many for one guy.
Oh man. God, they're fast.
Yeah, we're gonna need a new filter for that, obviously.
Yep. Sorry, Jen.
So I mentioned at the top of the show, my vote for the cat pair, because you have to name cats in a pair, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Right?
Yeah. I mean, hello.
Right. So so the first one was Taylor Sniffed and Dimebag Darrell, voted down. My second one, I thought this one had legs. I really thought I had something here.
Okay.
The first cat was going to be named Charlie.
Okay.
The second cat was going to be named the Chocolate Factory. But
okay. Now, interestingly, Patrick, this ties very directly into something I wanted to say at the top of the show.
Wow. Wow.
I'm a little taken aback. I feel like we've now been podcasting together long enough that I don't even need notes. We just
Yeah.
You must just see the stories in your head.
Really.
before we can get together.
Just so you know, I'm going to need the brain tomorrow. I have something going on at work, so
I'm
if
not
I
using
can
it for
borrow
the
it.
rest of the week.
Fair enough. All right, great.
Sorry, Aaron.
It's gonna be a drooling idiot on the couch for 4 days.
I like Charlie and I like the Chocolate Factory. Also, certainly, of course, would have accepted Charlie. Also would have accepted Great Glass Elevator.
Mhm.
It's a bit of a deeper cut. Pretty good.
I mean, cats are kind of chocolate factories, though. That's sort of where it.
Yeah, I get that's good.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's not lost on you.
Poop. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to save this for later in the intro, but I will just since you've so cavalierly started talking about Roald Dahl, I will say today our ghost we're doing a ghost from Scotland, and I actively sought out a Scottish ghost because have you been following the story of Willie and the Chocolate Kingdom or whatever it's called? Whatever.
Oh yes, yes
from Glasgow.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was in Scotland, but yes, I have been following the.
My favorite thing, I think that's happened all year so far.
Can you explain for any listeners that aren't familiar?
Oh God, so gladly. So there is an event in Glasgow, Scotland, which I don't think it's still going. They must have closed the door on this thing already.
It got some negative press here at the end of the story, just so you know.
And so this was an event that was billed as basically Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, although they, of course, don't have the rights for that. So it was called something like Willy and the Chocolate Experience or something.
Okay.
And the whole thing, was created by AI. And so the promotional materials were AI images. Have you seen any of the promo images?
I have. I mean, it looks very AI, but as someone who's kind of had to become savvy at distinguishing, it jumped out at me.
Yeah,
like
it's
the
not
descriptions. Yeah, I mean, everything about it was like somebody just put it through a generator and just said, "Okay, give me an event."
Yes, based on this book that I don't have the IP rights for, and AI did, and so it made this these images that are like the chocolate fountain and the giant lollipops and like whimsical colors and everything. Everything's all there. Excuse me. And that's how they promoted this event as like magical, like immersive Willy Wonka-esque experience for you and your kids. And the script that the actor, there was an actor who played Willy, not Willy Wonka, of course, his name. And I heard someone else I heard actually Griffin McElroy was there. The McElroys talked about it today on My Brother and Me. And Griffin Griffin called out the name as Willie McDuff, and I thought he was making a joke because it sounds like a joke that he would say, like, "Oh, it's Willie McDuff." No, I found the script for this character. It's the character's name is literally Willie McDuff. It's in the script as Willie McDuff. And so Willie McDuff is this. Well, I'll just read the AI as AI wrote the script. Enchantment Beyond. Willie McDuff, a character of eccentric charm and wit, stands before the curtain that separates the mundane from the magical. The audience is buzzing with anticipation. And the script is amazing because it's very clearly written by AI and focuses on two important things that I want to note. And the idea is you go with your family, you show up at this place.
Was that? Did that happen because you said Willy Wonka too many times? I'm sorry for our listeners. Balloons just appeared on Clayton's screen. I don't have any idea why that happened.
I wasn't looking at my screen. Hold on.
Yes.
Is it this?
I don't have any idea.
This.
I don't know what you did.
Oh my God, Willie's here. Willie McDuff is here. Oh God. Well, that's unsettling. But so Willie McDuff and his reading here Wonka Doodles. Not Oompa Loompas, they are Wonka Doodles.
Wonka Doodles, okay.
Which makes, again, no sense in this universe because his last name is McDuff.
We can only get around the copyright protection if we don't use both words together.
Right. So the idea is you would show up with your kids and you would take them through this like magical candy wonderland, very much like Willy Wonka's
Sure.
chocolate factory.
Yeah, take a bite off of off a leaf from the tree.
Absolutely.
Lick the floors, swim in the chocolate river.
Get sucked up a tube and disappear forever.
Yeah, get juiced by small men.
Absolutely.
Is that,
That's what I call Friday night. Am I right?
there's the before 7 o'clock show and there's the after 7 o'clock show.
And we all go home wet from that one.
It gets a little rough in the transition when you're not sure.
So that's the idea. You would walk through Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but of course it's off-brand. But and so there's a script where the character playing Willie McDuff and his Wonka Doodles had this whole script, and the story that they tell you as you wander through the space focuses on what I think are two really important things. Number one, there is a candy that is being sought after, much like in the movie and in the book, the everlasting gobstopper.
Of course,
you know. But in this version, it's the anti-graffiti gobstopper. And
like I was listening, but also had the TV on.
But also is so
like,
mad at these kids.
Yeah.
And it's the anti-graffiti gobstopper. And I mean, truly, the storyline here is that the gobstopper will clean up your town.
Why do kids give a shit? I don't understand this.
Well, there are so many questions that this raises, and that is one of them. So that's the first confusing part. And then the second part.
Everyone in Narc candy. Oh yeah, candy from Narcs. I love it. Turn in your dad if you see him put something in the drawer. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Lovely.
it's good. It's a good message for all the kids. And then the second really important aspect of this was that the character trying to steal the anti-graffiti gobstopper, in this case, is a creature referred to as the Unknown. Have you heard about this part at all?
It's a little haunting for a child's experience.
No idea how haunting this is. Let me just do a little quick little Control F for the Unknown. Let's see. Let's find some of the lines from the Unknown here.
Sounds a little Slendermanish. Is this Slender? Are we getting?
It's not too far. Willie McDuff with a serious expression. My dear adventurers, we stand on the precipice of a discovery most wondrous and perilous. For within these ancient walls lurks a tale not yet told of an evil chocolate maker, known only as the Unknown. This fiendish foe has long coveted one of my most cherished creations, the anti-graffiti gobstopper. A marvel of confectionery science designed to aid, not just any soul, but the tireless guardians of cleanliness. Our beloved mums, and yes, dads too, but especially mums, from the endless scourge of dirty socks strewn about by youthful adventures. Anyway, so this goes on, but the Unknown is this horrifying looking, and I'll find you a picture here, horrifying looking creature that, according to the script here, lives in the walls of the chocolate factory. That
the children will be touring.
Children, yes.
Well,
yes. Unknown. It's so good here. Yeah, this is not the best photo, but this gets the point across. Let me just share this real quick.
Jeez. Okay, so this is got a very Gene Simmons vibe. First off,
it's like Gene Simmons meets some of the characters from Gladiator.
Yep, holding a mirror they bought at Target. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I don't really know what that's all about.
I saw a video of this. The Unknown comes out from behind this mirror.
Okay.
So that signifies the walls of the chocolate factory.
Sure. I mean, the budget isn't super great for this.
It's zero. But they are telling children that the Unknown is this faceless creature that hides in the walls of the chocolate factory and eats children, and also covets the anti-graffiti gobstopper. And then you walk, and the way this shook out is you walk into the space and it looks like garbage. It's an empty warehouse with like 4 things taped to the walls, and every kid who went through got half a cup of lemonade and 2 jelly beans.
AI is stingy too. I mean, jelly beans don't cost shit.
It's amazing. And the actors who are playing these characters have been doing all these interviews where they've been very candid. Like, we had no idea. We got we booked this whole thing, and they sent us payment early, so we were in. But then they sent the script, and it was clearly written by AI. We didn't know what to do, but we'd already signed the contract and gotten the money, so we did it. And
Oh.
one parent was so mad at how this whole thing played out, he called the police,
Yeah.
which it's criminally terrible.
Hmm.
It's my favorite news story in a long time. And
Oh.
if you haven't heard about this, other
Mhm.
than what we've just said,
Mhm.
I strongly encourage you, please do yourself a favor, go look up the photos
Oh. That's
of
about the only thing
Willie
that, like,
McDuff.
AI or these language models, but the only thing that really kind of scares me about them is scams. Like, nothing else really scares me about it. I mean, like, even the really high end video that they generate still looks a little off and wonky.
Yeah, for
But
now.
it's the scams. That's the part that
Yeah.
they can cast an infinitely wide net at every single person on Earth, and they just have to catch a couple of them to make it worth it.
Yeah. Having said that, we've been talking about ways to monetize, and I have some new ideas. So let's connect after the recording because I think I've got a plan. So that inspired me to find specifically a ghost from Scotland, which is how we're starting out tonight. But
Lovely.
we have a couple more housekeeping notes for you. First of all, I just want to say thank you again to everyone who joined us for the live recording last week that we did.
Awesome.
It was so much fun. It was great and really pretty easy for us. I think that was way less stressful than like an actual live show.
Yeah, that was the best part, really.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
I stayed down here in the basement the whole time.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone who showed up. If you weren't here, you really truly missed something really fun. It was great. And I apologize for the lack of video for all those of you who did. I don't know what else to say other than it didn't work. Google has no answers, which means I have no answers. But as you pointed out, Pat, it makes it truly a once in a lifetime experience, and that's invaluable, I'd say.
Quite the segue from the Willy Wonka scam.
Yeah,
that was the.
This one's different because it's not generated by AI. It was generated by us. But we're gonna do another one. I think we talked about maybe trying another live show in April. So
yeah.
Come back. It was really great. We'll do it again for sure. So
I love it.
Out. Come on, y'all back. You hear? What else? Yeah, sign up for our mailing list. If you want details on that, you can go to isthisaghost.com. You'll see a pop up. You can sign your mailing list. And when you do that, you also get a free bonus episode of our one of our favorite episodes, a little ghosty about our friend, the mongoose ghost named Jeff, which is one of the wilder episodes we've ever done. And that's the only way you can hear it is to sign up for the mailing list. So do yourself a favor and do that. The last thing I have here, I have two more. No, by the way, this is for everyone listening. I am going out of town for several Mondays this month. And so tonight, and I think next time we record, probably also, if you're up for it, Pat, we are doing back-to-back episodes.
Oh, boy. Which means first one's going to be fine, and the second one is going to be a car accident. I am very sorry.
We start the second episode as sober as we end the first one. So, so that is that's what. So tonight you'll get the first episode. Next week you'll hear the second episode that we record tonight. Good luck to us all.
I'm so sorry.
Well, here's what I'll say. The last time we did this was Bill Simmons, the Texas A&M ghost, the meat lab ghost.
That was fun.
And the second episode was the Bill Skeeto ghost hole episode.
Oh man!
And last week I put up a post on Facebook, just asked people like, "What are your favorite episodes?" And several people said the ghost hole, Bill Skeeto's ghost hole, was their favorite. So I don't know. This could go great. Let's find out.
Lots of things could happen
Together. So, but that is these episodes will probably be a little shorter because we just don't have time to record 2 hour and 15-minute long episodes back to back because we are old and we like sleep. And then the final thing I have here, this really is Patrick. People are clamoring for an update on your dad's eyelashes.
Oh my goodness!
I received several messages from people who are very curious about how your dad is doing without eyelashes.
He has no regrets. I will put it that way. No regrets.
Good for him.
Yeah, absolutely no regrets. He did let me know he no longer gets eye boogers, which I think he was kind of trying to, just sort of let me know there's no need for an "I told you so" here. because I'm very happy. I'm very happy with this.
So he preempted your. I told you not that you would say that.
Yeah, I was just calling, check in, see how he was doing that day. And he was like, "Hey, just so you know, I don't have any more eye boogers, and I don't regret having my eyelashes cut off professionally."
In case that's what you call.
In case that's what you're calling about. It's like, no, I was calling to see if you want anything from the store, but it's good to know that you're thinking about that.
Cut off professionally. Oh boy. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. Good for him.
No regrets.
Good for him. Well then, since we got that sorted, do you want to hear a ghost story?
Sure. Let's go.
This says demons. That's wrong. His name is
not
Desmond.
Demons? Oh, okay.
Change that real quick. Desmond. Okay. Desmond Lucius student. No, student is not right. God. Notes is, I got to turn the spell check off. Notes.
Notes is like, names do not exist. This is not a noun.
Let me try again. Here we go. Desmond Lucius Studdert P. Arthur.
You get to pick like 6 names, and one of them had to be Pee-Pee. I don't know.
Pee-Pee.
You got it. Well, I don't know. Or maybe it was always just Pee-Pee, and he's like, I need more names to surround this.
I can't. I checked, and I cannot legally remove a name, but I can add names, and I am gonna. Desmond was born on March 31st, 1884, in O'Brien's Bridge in Ireland.
Ah, lovely.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful country. God's country, they say.
Mm-hmm. Several days out of the year, it's gorgeous.
It's the Seattle of the United Kingdom, I think is what they call it. I'm trying to think. I don't think it rained the entire time. I was in Ireland for 4 or 5 days once, and I don't think it rained the entire time.
Wow. They let you leave?
Like I brought a little bit of sunshine to that Emerald Isle, and you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, friends. You're welcome to all you leprechauns out there.
I'm sure you go back on Wikipedia and there'll be like an entry for the 5 fucking days you were there. Like, do you remember the 5 days when it didn't rain in 2001?
Those were the good days.
I got it tattooed on my fucking arm. Do you remember it?
I've got the 5-day forecast from that week tattooed on my arm. Here's the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday, the Thursday, the Friday. I started the Saturday, but then it started to rain during the appointment. So I thought, I don't think so.
These are starting to look bad the more of them I do, honestly.
So he's born and he goes to school in Northern Ireland. And I think this was probably before they were terrorists.
Depends on the school, I guess.
Yeah. The school is, and this, I guess this is my spelling, Portora Royal School.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably right. He was, quote, an enthusiastic sportsman, which meant he loved to drive cars.
Ah, that kind of sportsman.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that like driving cars in 1900 makes you like a sportsman.
I mean, a bit of a daredevil. I mean, no one had ever gone 25 miles an hour before.
Well, this is the whole thing. Like, I'm pretty sure I could, at least for a short time, run faster than these cars go. But that's okay. He did win several prizes in motoring speed trials.
Mm.
Might have gotten up to 26 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
He became pretty well known as a guy who could drive a car, I guess. So Desmond enrolls in the Irish military in 1908, which was at that point, I believe, rolled up into the English military. And please don't email me if that's wrong.
The moment you started saying, I see look in your eyes like, so many letters about this, aren't I?
I know. I listen. All of our UK friends, we love you, and I think your history is fascinating, but not fascinating enough to research better.
Yeah.
So
it keeps changing. Honestly,
it's very changeable.
Can we just pick? Can we just pick a side?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Independence or not, come on, gang. But anyway, so he becomes a lieutenant in the Army Motor Reserve.
So the daredevil is going to drive cars in the military. Okay.
But in the reserve. So he's going to drive cars every one week in a month, 2 weeks a year. He's going to drive cars. So that is what he does. And I don't know exactly what military function it serves to have like race car drivers in the military. But that's why Ireland was always under the thumb of the British, I guess, because terrible decisions, terrible resource allocation here. So
I'm just imagining everybody in their army has a car, and they're like, "Okay, where's the battle? Oh, it's 4 miles that way. Okay, everybody.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, where'd I park? Oh,
Beep 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 beep.
was I in the itchy lot? No, I was in the scratchy lot. I definitely in the scratchy lot.
Boop boop. Wait, stop beeping your car. I'm beeping my car. Please stop. I'm trying to beep beep boop 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 boop. No, stop it. Everyone's trying to find their cars because God, what if okay. Here's what I've decided I hope this was. Death Race 2000.
Oh, yes.
The original.
Absolutely.
The Corman version. Yes. Yeah. Everyone's got a car. They got just so many weapons strapped to it.
So much personality.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What a movie that is.
God, I could watch it again right now.
Did you ever see the remake?
With Jason Statham.
Probably.
Yeah, he's in everything nowadays. It's terrible. So yeah, I would say no, I did not see it.
Boy, y'all, if you have not seen the original Roger Corman Death Race 2000, let me tell you, you will not see a better movie starring both Sylvester Stallone and David Carradine. Is that right?
David Carradine, yes, yeah. Star of the podcast, I believe.
Dr.
He's
yeah. He's come up. He's come up. He has come up for coming up and then going down quickly. Anyway, so now it's happening, and the Army's encouraging his habit of racing cars at very slow speeds, and eventually though he thinks, I think I'm ready for something faster. So first, I assume he thought paddle boat. Then he was like, no, too fast. But on August 29th, now this says 2910. That's wrong. It's going to be 1910. I think it's going to be 1910.
That one, it didn't.
I was typing this on the train, and it's very, it rocks a lot. On August 29th, 1910, Desmond meets a man named Cecil Grace, and this changes everything for him. Now, Cecil was just 4 years older than Desmond. He was born in Chile to a New Yorker, and actually Cecil's uncle, W.R. Grace, was actually a former mayor of New York City.
Oh, wow.
So like New Yorkers.
Sure.
Now Cecil's living in Ireland, and his whole deal is airplanes.
Oh my gosh. You want to talk about risk at the turn of the century.
Yeah. Now I'm on board with the risk, for sure.
Do you want to fly a magic loud-ass box through the sky? I think I kind of do. Sure.
Now it stays up there.
Nobody knows
half the time. Yeah, we're not sure.
See how the wing is kind of shaped like a teardrop? We all think that has something to do with it, but nobody really knows. I don't know.
Now, lots of these go down and burn horribly. Is that interesting to you?
Yeah. Why would just get out? Oh, no. We've put a wing above you as well. That won't be happening.
Well, it's still be enclosed in like a safe space. Oh, no, there's no cover here. No, there's no canopy.
Yeah, you'll want to squint quite a bit because the wind comes very quickly at the eyes.
Oh, boy. But I'll have like a helmet, right? Well, sort of.
Yeah.
In a manner of speaking. Here's a cow skin. Put it on your head.
What's this for? Oh, just keep everything together. Frank, I mean, it's...
That's really for the survivors for their benefit.
Otherwise, we spend so much time collecting all the pieces. It's just easier this way.
So Cecil loves plane. Can't get enough of planes. It's airplanes. And Desmond meets him at Leopardstown Racecourse. I think it's a horse racing course, if I remember correctly. And they're just chatting. And while they're chatting, Desmond tells Cecil all about how fast he likes to go. And Cecil says, you know what's better than cars? And airplanes. Airplanes, my dude. Now, Desmond has been thinking of becoming a pilot. So the conversation with Cecil really takes root, and that's what seals the deal for him. So this is the thing that makes Desmond sure that he wants to be a pilot. So thusly inspired, Desmond sets out to get his pilot's license. And I will say in hindsight, Cecil Grace may not have been the best person to follow into aviation. 4 months after this meeting, Cecil was flying in a plane, as he does, and he disappeared.
Plane and all, or just him?
All of the above.
Okay, that's fair.
Gone. Sure.
Became a small sound out on the ocean for a split second. And that was it.
There was a competition to see who could make the longest flight from England into continental Europe. And
hang on. I'm sorry. The contest is just who can fly the furthest?
Yeah, so if you have a really good glider,
right,
you've got a solid chance.
Right. And now I'm just to be clear here, this is a time before, let's say, commercial or common aviation. So once you do get as far as you can go, which I imagine is dictated by the plane running out of fuel, what's the plan at that point, do you think?
Land,
just somewhere.
Yeah. And now you live in a new place, and it's cool.
I'm Bavarian now. This is exciting. It really is. And if I can get this airplane put back together, maybe I'll just fly back home. But until then.
Yeah, I think this does speak very much to the state of planes at the time, because it's like, today it's like, well, how far can this tank of gas take you? That's how far you'll go.
Yeah.
Back then it's like, boy, you can put however much gas you want in there. I don't think you're going to make it. So Cecil is not the first pilot to try to win the prize, which is a substantial prize. It's a 4,000-pound prize.
Wow.
Yeah. So I guess the winner
buy a lot of airplanes. I'll tell you that much.
Winner gets a hippo. It will buy a lot of new airplanes, so you'll definitely be able to fly back home for sure. So he's not the first one to try it, but he is the one who disappeared most completely.
There's a lot of little accomplishments on that plaque, so don't feel too bad about not being the top name. There's some honorable mentions down there.
Yeah. This is the least honorable of those, but it's still it's on the board. Let's see. On December 22nd, 1910, Cecil takes off and he crosses the English Channel. It was incredibly foggy that day. So I guess that didn't concern him very much.
Well, I mean, what's the threat there exactly?
I could think of several.
I mean, are you going to run into another airplane?
Yes.
No, I don't. Come on. There's like 4 airplanes in the world. Are you going to run into the other one? And I don't remember a whole lot about European geography, but I don't recall a whole lot of mountains at the French-English.
That's fair. That's
coast,
fair.
So I would say as long as you can't see the ground below you, you're probably fine.
What about Kraken?
Kraken? Well, yeah. You want to stay a little bit higher than that, just high enough.
They can reach. Those suckers can reach. So Anyway, so it's foggy, but he's like, "This is cool." He does make it to France. You okay?
I have someone.
Are you and your cat okay? So he does make it to France. He makes it to a village near Calais, in France.
Ooh,
he lands. Yeah, probably. But he lands the plane early because the weather was way too bad to fly. And he thought, well, I'll just try again another day. The weather is, again, just way too bad to fly today. I cannot fly today. The weather is too bad.
Right. I'll just have to hang out here in France for, a little while.
Yeah, the weather was so bad that he got back in his plane and tried to fly home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he tries flying back home through the bad weather that has stopped him from flying. And I just want to say, this is bad decision making.
Yeah.
That's all. It's not a joke, just an observation that this is bad decision making. If you think the weather is too bad to fly from here in one direction, I don't think it's better necessarily than to fly from here in a different direction.
I wonder if my magic flying box would look the same way if I go backwards through the fog?
Will it take me back in time to a time before the fog was here? Worth a try. No one's ever tried it before. So he gets back in his plane. He tries to fly home. So he's headed to Dover, which should have taken him about 40 minutes from where he took off. But after many more minutes than that, it's still not landed. Though someone did report seeing a plane struggling through the weather out over the English Channel. And incidentally, just over the Goodwin Sands.
Oh.
Now, this is not the first time we've talked about the Goodwin Sands in this podcast.
Indeed.
Patrick, for 2 ghost points. Do you remember which episode we talked about the Goodwin Sands?
One of the first ones. And I do not remember what it was.
That is incorrect. We visited the Goodwin Sands during the Lady Lovabond episode.
The Lovabonds. Yes.
Yes, the ghost ship that the wreck. So, as you know, you remember what the Goodwin Sands are. Do you want to just explain to everybody what is interesting about the Goodwin Sands? Go ahead.
They are a shifting sandbar.
Okay.
That at different times of day could run a ship aground or let a ship pass through. So very unpredictable.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I know about them.
That went a lot better than I thought it would, based on the fact that you don't remember anything else about the episode.
It's the first episode of the night, so we'll see how the second one goes.
Boy, number 2 is going to be a long one. So he was seen over the Goodwin Sands and then was never seen again. Now, I don't know if he crashed in the Goodwin Sands, but it would explain why they never saw his plane again because of the shifting nature. Anyway, so Cecil never shows up. He never surfaces. They never see him again, never see his plane. And for a while, people are like, I think he probably landed somewhere else. I think he's fine.
What a fascinating time. You're flying around. I would imagine you keep going lower and lower until you can see whether you're over ground or water, and you keep seeing water, and you're like, whoa, fuck this. And you climb back up again.
Yep.
I'll try again in 10 minutes. And you go back down, water again. Okay, well, water again. Water again. Where am I?
Now, the English Channel is not this big.
Right.
Where am I?
What water is this big?
Is that the Titanic? Oh, no.
This is not good.
So people think maybe he landed somewhere else, but then in January, his goggles and cap washed ashore in Belgium. This caused people to think maybe he's not fine. So anyway, this is the pilot who inspired Desmond Arthur to become a pilot himself. Which
I wouldn't say that's the most inspirational part to go off of. Maybe everything up until that point you can be inspired by, but then not.
Yeah, and then just lose touch and you're fine. So Desmond does indeed learn to fly, and eventually he joins the 5th Battalion Royal Munster Fusiliers Special Reserve.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Fusiliers?
Yep.
That's I don't have any word that replaces that in my vocabulary, so that's fine.
Fusiliers. Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it.
Yep. And he is promoted to lieutenant.
Wow.
Lieutenant.
I think you had that one right. You're good. I think you're fine.
Okay. I'm in my own head. This is a quote. He was known for his adventurous nature as well as his unassuming manner and unfailing good spirit. We do love a good team player on this show.
Yep. Indeed.
So he was very well liked. And I have a picture here of our boy. Let's see. Thought you might like to see him. Thought you might like to get real attached to him before we finish this episode.
Ghost him here.
There he is.
Oh, what a happy guy.
Very happy, right?
Very happy. I mean, he's missing the middle tooth, which is probably not great for chewing, but he seems very, very happy about it.
Great for straws, though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that is a perfect straw hole right there. That one.
Great straw mouth.
The milkshake hole right there. It's one of those big boba straws. You can fit right through there.
Oh boy. So that's our boy Desmond. Now the Royal Air Force stations him at the Montrose Airfield in Montrose, Scotland. Fun fact, According to the internet, Montrose is well known for its jute processing industry.
Ah, lovely jute processing.
Do you know what jute is?
I have no earthly clue what jute is.
I had to Google jute.
I'm gonna guess jute is some sort of a grass or a plant that is processed into some sort of other chemical. That's my guess.
All right. Well, it is a small place in Scotland that has a processing industry, so I feel like plant is a pretty low-hanging fruit.
It's not an animal processing facility or rock processing facility, so
Okay. So we're back to boiling rocks now. Okay. You are correct. Jute is a plant, a fibrous. I don't know if the jute itself is a plant or jute is the thing that comes off of a specific plant. But anyway, it's what they make twine out of.
Ah, lovely twine.
Lovely twine.
Mhm.
You need twine. You need twine. Gotta have twine.
It's building blocks of so many things.
I
Rope.
think so. Sure.
Thick rope.
Sometimes. Yep. Packages.
Mm-hmm.
Brown paper packages.
Tied up with string. Twine.
Tied up with jute.
It's a shame that didn't rhyme because they really would have just killed. Tied up with jute. These are a few of my favorite fruits. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work. I'm very sorry.
My favorite boots. So that's not actually a fun fact, but I did want to. It's been so long since we heard the sound effect, and I wanted to see your face. And, it worked. Although we have a new sound effect. I don't know if we talked about the new sound effect yet. Did we talk about? Did we?
You sent me a clip of it. I said it was A, probably more appropriate, B, less scary, and C, I don't know if I like it.
Yeah. The original, I think, was by far the better one. But we did get some notes from people who were complaining about potentially running out their cars off the roads.
It does sound like a gunshot through glass. I mean, it was
So
very scary. It
it's
was
fair.
very scary.
And
Yeah.
I do not. We are an LLC, so we're pretty protected from lawsuits. But I don't know if we should really test the limits of that. Anyway, so Desmond is at Montrose Airfield, and this is a training base for pilots, which means people are crashing planes constantly. Now, this is usually due to the pilots being pretty bad at being pilots because they're learning. They're learning.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the simulator business is really up and running by this point.
No, not quite.
Here, put on these goggles that show the sky. Okay, or now put on these that show the ground. Oh no! Pull up the stick. Okay, now the sky once again. Oh, you're doing very good.
Viewmaster?
You're
Yes.
doing very well. Ooh, are these dinosaurs? Stay away from the dinosaurs.
Hold this stick. This stick is. Move the stick when you want to go left. Move the stick right when you want to go right. Yeah, you're great. You're ready.
Yeah.
I think you're ready. So planes are crashing constantly. This is usually due to pilots not being good at it, but sometimes it's chalked up to equipment failure, which is the case when Desmond Arthur gets into a BE-2 biplane on Tuesday, May 27th in the year 1913. Desmond takes off. He's buzzing around up there in the ether until the plane, quote, collapsed without warning.
Collapsed. That's it's a hard recovery from the whole plane collapsing, I'll be honest.
Is that not a common thing that you hear in the engineering world?
You know, we've got that one licked. That one I think we've got pretty much, that one's
Oh,
sorted
so you
out.
don't work for Boeing.
No, I do not. No, I do not. No. That is one of the beautiful design advantages of the biplane is no doors to fall off at all. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the plane starts to collapse, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah. I assure you, starting to collapse is not a thing. It goes from uncollapsed to collapsed.
That's fair. That's fair.
Things don't. One thing about planes, things do not happen slowly on planes. They happen instantly on airplanes.
They happen totally, completely, and instantly. So the plane starts going down. Arthur somehow has it in a controlled descent, but you know, it's still a bad situation. But he's he's managing it until he hits 2,500 feet. At which point, the right wing of the plane falls off.
It's the important one, honestly.
It is
left one
of the two.
Yeah.
Only something like 10% of the plane population is left-winged. And so if you lose the left wing, you're okay. But that right one, yeah, that's tough. Now, you probably know this as an engineer. If a wing falls off your plane, that's not how you fly. That's not how it stays in the air.
Right. Yep. That's why they put two of them on.
What happens if one falls off, Pat?
You start going in circles.
Yep. It's like a helicopter from the tree.
Now you don't go in circles like where you are. You're still going down while the circles are happening. It's still, you know. Yeah.
We call that a literal death spiral.
Yes.
I think. Yeah. So that's what happens. The plane just starts spinning and falling. Desmond, because this is biplanes are fun. Desmond is thrown from the cockpit.
Okay. Into, well, there's no other parts of the plane, so just free of the plane, I guess.
Now, I do think maybe there's a chance he did smash against the upper wing, potentially, of the plane.
It's possible, depending if that's still there. It sounds like not many parts of the plane are still.
Some of the wing is still there. It's hard to know exactly where the right wing ends and the left wing starts on a biplane, but some of it I think is still there. But he falls about 2,000 feet to the ground below. Hits pretty hard. I think what's the terminal velocity calculation of a human?
Miles per hour. Oh, it's somewhere between like 150 and 150 and 200 miles an hour, something like that.
Fast.
Yeah, and you get there pretty quick. You get.
So he made great time.
Yeah,
that's important.
And his last thought in his head was, "I did want to go fast." So. The great irony of it all.
Careful what you wish for. The secret is real, and you might accidentally make it happen.
The monkey's paw closes for the final time.
So he hits the ground. He does die instantly.
God, I hope so. I don't want even a split second post ground in that scenario.
Oh man. His body ends up landing about 160 yards away from the plane where it lands.
Was he still wearing the cap? That's my question. Because otherwise,
as a matter of fact, he was.
The ambulance guys are driving out there the whole time. They're saying, "Oh God, I hope he kept the fucking cap on." I seriously, I forgot the rake back in the shed.
This did cause this did cause people to question the efficacy of the leather helmet. Because
right. If it can't save me from 200 miles an hour straight into the ground, why am I wearing this thing?
But he did. So he was thrown pretty far away from the plane. Now, Desmond stayed dead for a while. And what?
No, I'm sure there's a follow-up.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Okay.
Desmond stayed dead for a while, and everything was normal. He wasn't a ghost or anything.
Right. Yeah.
He's fine. He's normal. He's normal dead.
Yeah, he's about maybe 3/4 of an inch thick at this point, but yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he's fine. Everything's normal.
Yeah. He's a few seasonings away from a nice soup at this point, as you would expect.
Yeah.
But in 1916, 3 years later, the Royal Air Force releases its official report of the accident. Now, when this accident happened, the crash site investigators said, "Well, this is clear cut. Like this was a badly repaired spar."
Yep, absolutely.
You know what a spar is?
I believe it's the support that holds the wings apart.
Fucking nerd. That's correct. It is the support that holds the wings up. And people got pretty mad about that because they're like, "We need to find the mechanic who did this."
Yeah.
Because he just murdered our coolest pilot.
Exactly. We need to drop him from 2,000 feet with the helmet on.
Yeah.
And we need to see.
We need to murder this guy one time for every name that Desmond had to avenge him completely. So.
By the third or fourth time they take him up, in the bucket, it's going to get pretty gross for everybody else on board. And this one's for Steve. Pour out the plane.
This one's for PP. So the official ruling, the official report comes out in 1916, like I said, the official ruling of the government is that the accident was actually a result of bad piloting. That Desmond Arthur was, quote, killed by his own foolishness.
Oh.
So now people are pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I want to remind you
Mhm.
that the one quote I have here about Desmond is that he was known for his adventurous nature as well as his unassuming manner and unfailing good spirit.
Yeah.
He's very popular.
Doesn't sound like an asshole at all.
Not at all.
Yeah. This sounds, you know what this sounds like? This sounds like Sully getting railroaded. That's what this sounds like to me.
Yeah.
It says Sully Sullenberg written all over it.
Did he get railroaded? Oh yeah, the whole
Did
why'd you fly into birds, idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I'll just say I think it's a fair point. You just swerve around the birds. If I'm driving a car and I see a squirrel, I swerve.
Yeah.
And therefore I do not hit squirrel.
Yeah. Now, am I driving that car 560 miles an hour? Probably
Yes.
not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy, poor Sully. Well, you know what they say? You live long enough to be the hero. No, you die the hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And Sully knows that better than anyone.
More like you die the hero. You live long enough to have Tom Hanks play you in a movie. It's pretty much
good.
Yeah,
I'm pretty good. That's a decent trade-off.
Yeah. If you had to go through the whole thing again, I mean, I'd probably take that.
Boy, what would you do? What wouldn't you do to have Tom Hanks play you in a movie?
Ooh,
Yeah.
boy,
It's pretty good, right?
yeah. I'd get some. I'd be willing to get some weird tattoos. I think that'd be.
And then you get to see Tom Hanks get those same tattoos, which would be pretty fun.
If I got to choose the role would be Tom Hanks playing a man who slowly gets too many tattoos and loses all the other people in his life because of these choices. And Tom Hanks has to play him straight the whole time.
The whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Patrick, is that one on your eyeball? Yeah. Is it a tattoo of an eyeball? Yeah. I got a tattoo of a snake in my boot. So anyway, so where are we? And God, we have another episode to record tonight. So everyone's mad about this ruling, but the person who's maddest of all is Desmond himself. Now he's been dead for a few years.
Right, yeah.
Doesn't mean he can't be angry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is not going to take this slander lying down, and so he rises up from the grave. As soon as the report comes out, people start seeing Desmond's ghost stomping around the airbase.
Oh.
Specifically in and around the mess hall, and more specifically in and around the bar inside the mess hall.
I would just love if each of these sightings began with him crashing to the earth like a meteor from
boom. Yeah. Boy, I need a drink.
Dust himself off, adjusts the little leather cap, and man, that was quite the situation back there, wasn't it? Anyway.
So a lot of the pilots at the airfield, they see his ghost. A lot of them do, and they're pretty freaked out. Even a major named, the major's name is Cyril Foggin. Because of course it is. Cyril Foggin sees the ghost. And he decides not to make a formal report because he thinks perhaps the RAF, the Royal Air Force, will relieve him of his duties if he says, I saw a ghost.
That's we've been over this before. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're gonna make those kinds of reports, it only takes one person thinking you're off your rocker.
It takes one Patrick to be like, sorry, you've lost your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he didn't report it officially, but he was definitely telling people around the airbase, like, yes, I've seen it too.
Mm-hmm.
Soon, some of the airmen at the base start putting in transfer requests because they do not like seeing the ghost around all the time. It's such a common occurrence that they're like, I have to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this particular haunting goes on for a few months, but right at the end of 1916, so a few months after the original report comes out, the RAF publishes a new investigative report And this one says the crash was due to a damaged wing after all.
Oh, okay.
Possibly because so many people are leaving the airbase because there's a ghost. I don't know. I don't know. But with his name thusly clear, Desmond stops haunting the mess hall and goes back to sleep. Mostly. Although in 1940, a British pilot was up in the air hunting for a German bomber when he looked over. This is pre-World War II, but the Germans were the Raptors testing the fences here at this point. And British pilot is up there looking for a German bomber. He looks over and he sees an old biplane flying right alongside him.
Oh, wow.
They pass through a cloud together, and when they come out on the other side of the cloud, the biplane is gone. In 1942, a lieutenant at the airbase saw the ghost of Desmond Arthur standing out on the runway.
Mm-hmm.
A few days later, that lieutenant crashed on that very same spot on the runway and died.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. I feel like ghosts that are harbingers of your death those are the toughest ones.
Yeah, I mean, do you blame them at that point? Are they warning you?
The ghost or the other?
The ghost. You blame the ghost. I mean, it could be a warning. It could be like, hey, I'm a ghost.
I think it's a warning. Yeah.
I'm really scary. You maybe shouldn't come back here again. And somebody like, that's really weird. I saw a ghost down at the 7-Eleven. I better continue going in there every single day of my life, though.
Better keep getting those hot dogs wrapped in burgers, wrapped in buns, because that's not going to give me a heart attack. I don't know. I guess it's a good point. But how do you know if a ghost is a harbinger of your death?
I think
you just have to assume that everyone is, right?
I would say any ghost, that's pretty much going to be some sort of a warning right there. You don't see a whole lot of ghosts where like, I should go back and talk to him again. He seemed like he had a lot more to say. It seemed really important. But
then if you want to help a ghost finish its business to move on, gosh, I feel like we're giving conflicting advice here. Looking at our history, because we have said before that we think you should help a ghost finish its business, right?
Interesting. It's like the TV show What Would You Do, where like somebody gets mugged in Sonic in the car next to you, and you're like, whoa, what do we do? And it turns out it's all this movie TV producers.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're brave enough,
enjoy this cherry limeade, I guess.
Yeah. And roll the windows up very slowly. I'm not even going to tell you what the cats. I'm not even going to tell you what the cat's doing right now.
That's fine.
I'm not even going to tell you. I'll tell you offline. Not going to tell you what they're doing right now, though.
Okay.
It's not podcast appropriate.
Oh no. Okay.
So yeah, if you're brave enough,
so good to be 300 miles away from you as it does right now.
If you're brave enough, you can help that ghost finish his business. But
it may mean you're finishing your business.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then on May 27th, 1963, so fast forward a couple decades, a man named Sir Peter Masefield was flying close to Montrose when he saw a biplane go careening through the air. It was close enough he could see the pilot, and the pilot was wearing an old leather flying cap and goggles.
See, he was wearing the cap.
Yes, he was. Didn't help.
Didn't do shit, unfortunately.
Did wear it, though.
Yeah.
Looked great. He looked great. So Masefield watches the biplane crash down below, and he's freaking out. And so he lands his plane, to go help. When he runs out to the crash site, there is no plane. There is no crash. There's nothing there.
Oof.
And I think that's just Desmond having a little fun. That's what I like to think.
If I was a ghost, I'd probably spend a lot of time doing exactly that.
If you're stuck here, I mean, what do you might as well. I mean, go nuts. And that is the story of Desmond Arthur, the ghost of Scotland. I am a little disappointed we got through all that without doing a single Scottish accent. Do you want to do one just to?
One of you leaks. I don't actually remember what they sound like now.
Gosh, what should I say? I'm on the spot now.
Saints preserve us.
I don't think that's right. Feels a little more Irish.
Oh, are they different?
No.
It's It's like Italian and Spanish. You know, it's just the same. It's the same thing.
Saints of preserve us.
Yeah.
Hey, you wanted the pizza? You wanted the saints of the preserve us. I think that's how that goes. But that's our show for this week. Desmond Arthur, the Scottish Ghost. Any final thoughts, Patrick?
I mean, I love a good aviation episode. I love anytime we got a lot of little engineering trivia in here, especially engineering terms. Gosh, nothing makes me happier.
Yeah, I didn't know what a spar was.
Now you do.
Now I do. Well, I googled it.
Everybody does.
I need you, but it's true. Well, this has been Is This a Ghost? We are a production of Smith Show Media. All the notes are taken by me, Clayton Smith. All the funny jokes are from Patrick Dean. Our video editor is Jen Swanson. Our audio editor is Jeremy Montoya. Our social media manager is Kai Valanis. And gosh, stick around because next week you are going to hear an episode that starts off with us being as sober as we are now. Patrick, are you okay? What's happening?
I'm trying to find a cat.
I cannot wait to hear offline what happened to the cat that you guess have lost.
They're hiding in a pile of garbage right now. So
it's your basement, friend.
Gotta go
Your
find it.
basement. So on that note, we are going to go and get to next week's episode right away, but y'all have fun. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it, please go rate and review, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen, and take care of yourself, because otherwise you might be the next topic on Is This a Ghost?